Well, the union that represents thousands of City of Toronto workers is providing an update on bargaining talks as a strike deadline looms. Let's listen in live.
Spent hours poring over the agreements and have addressed the media, the public, and our membership directly. The same cannot be said about the city manager. Paul Johnson seems happy to provide updates at a press conference, but has yet to address us directly at the table. This is a toxic way to negotiate, an approach that reflects management at the city that has allowed skilled workers to leave elsewhere, where the pay is higher, the workload is lower, and the cost of living is more manageable. It's mismanagement that has led vacancies to pile up. Over 1,200 vacancies in Toronto Public Health, more than 400 unfilled positions in long-term care homes, over 2,000 recreation jobs sitting vacant, meaning fewer programs for kids and families. A 30% vacancy rate in some shelter and housing programs, leaving vulnerable residents without the support they need. Meanwhile, guess whose salaries are not falling behind? City management, where the very people who have let this crisis develop. Their wages has increased more rapidly than any other employee in the group in the city. In 2024, frontline workers saw their wages increase by just 1.75%, while the top 5 management pay scales increased by more than 10%. While they get raises, the rest of us, childcare workers, shelter staff, public health nurses, recreation workers, personal support workers, case workers, and so many more, are struggling to make ends meet in the city that we serve. We are regular working people just like you, trying to live and raise our families in Toronto. We don't want to strike. We don't want to strike. We never have. To the residents of Toronto, if you knew firsthand how mismanaged the city has become, you would understand why we are at this point. This is the same senior management that has told Torontonians that it takes 3 weeks to clear snow. The same senior management that tried to hide an accident on the Toronto ferries. The same senior management that refused to accept a report from the Ombudsman about anti-Black racism in our shelter system. This is not just our fight, it's yours too. It's about the services every one of us relies on. Services already stretched to the breaking point because of years of negligence. I want to speak directly to Mayor Chow. You ran on a platform of building a city that is affordable, caring, and safe, where everyone belongs. Working class people in Toronto had your back. You did not create the mismanagement at the City of Toronto, but you did inherit it. Please show the membership of Local 79 that they also deserve a city that's affordable, caring, and safe. A city where they too belong. Yesterday, late in the afternoon, we received what the city has called their final offer. We have diligently reviewed this document, which still falls short on many of the needs our members have identified. We will be countering the city's proposal with our own later today. We are willing to do everything to reach a fair deal. That is why we are extending our strike deadline and will negotiate throughout the weekend. But make no mistake, if there is no deal by just past midnight on Monday morning, we will walk off the job. The City of Toronto has a choice. They can bargain in good faith and show respect for the workers who keep the city running, or they can continue their pattern of neglect, delay, and dishonesty and force a strike that will hurt us all. We are ready to work towards a fair deal. We urge the city to stay at the table and help us to get to that deal. Thank you. I will now introduce Marvin, President of ATU 113.
We've been listening to the union that represents nearly 30,000 inside workers, providing an update on the bargaining talks and that they could go on strike as early as 12:01 a.m. on Monday.